Today in the cheapo spotlight, the all-new KLEIN Tools MM325. Oh yeah. An upgrade from the MM320, which was tried and true, a popular KLEIN multimeter for a while. But fear not, we have the all-new 325, which actually does a few things better. Oh, I love better.
KLEIN Tools.
325 ships with your standard KLEIN Tools bubble wrapping. Nice and secure. Keeps that meter safe during transit. Comes with your KLEIN Tools multimeter manual. Nice and verbose, some nice big pictures here. Gives you the lowdown, all the specs on what your meter can and cannot do, along with some pretty decent photographs. Also get your KLEIN test leads. These are Cat 2 1000 volts, rated for 10 amps. Feel pretty good, nice and sharp. They have a nice finger guard here. Perhaps a tad on the small side if you have slightly bigger hands, but generally speaking, they're good. Now, they're not silicone, they're your standard PVC style test leads, but all in all, they feel pretty good and got some nice strain relief as well going on. Oh yeah, of course, they give you a couple of batteries. First thing you're going to want to do when you get your 325 is, of course, put in the battery. Simply done with one Phillips screw, just like that. Take out the housing, and there you go. And look at that, instant fuse access as well to that high current 10 amp, as well as the milliamp fuse. Oh, I love the instant access. Beauty. Also, KLEIN does an A1 job on that tilt stand, nice and wide, and it gives you a lot of stability. Yeah, oh, I like it, I like it. I like it. This week's shout out goes to Ireland. Dear Hooch. Oh, my Gaelic ain't what it used to be. Didn't kiss the Blarney Stone too much lately, did you? Outwardly, they do look similar. The 320 here on the left and the 325 on the right. Unlike the KLEIN 320, when you turn on the 325, look at that, we have those nice illuminated jack inputs. Makes a heck of a difference, especially in low light conditions. Doesn't matter if you're a novice or a pro, it's always nice to have a helping hand. Another huge difference is the fact that KLEIN actually listened. Thank you, KLEIN, so much. Check it out. Yes, a backlight. It has a backlight. Low light conditions, that is definitely going to help you see your screen. Now, the one problem with this is that it does not stay on indefinitely. No, it will time out after approximately 2.5 minutes. But that being said, it now has a backlight, and that, my friends, is a good thing. Now, it's not all great in upgraded land, unfortunately. I wish it was. No, we have one downside to the 325. That is the fact that the selector switch just isn't as smooth as the 320, and this is what I mean. So here's the 320. Nice and smooth. Hits at range with authority. Yeah, it's not as smooth. Not as smooth at all. Not even close. You really got to dig in there. You got to pinch that selector to switch those ranges. So, oh man, I don't know what happened in this transition, but I really wish we could supplant the selector of the 320 into the 325. Oh, darn it. By the way, if you want to disable that auto on, simply hold down on the hold button when you turn the meter on. You'll hear those beeps, and that auto shutdown is now eliminated. Yes, it will stay on permanently until you turn the meter off. And when you turn the meter off, turn it back on, bada boom, bada bing, that auto shutdown is once again invoked. Let's take a closer look at the selector starting at the midnight or off position. Volts AC up to 600 volts. diode, continuity, resistance up to 2 mega ohm, high current amps up to 10 amps, microamps, milliamps up to 200 milliamps, 9 volt and 1.5 volt battery test. Finally, volts DC up to 600 volts. Top of the meter we have our one-touch hold as well as the backlight. Bottom of the meter we have our high current input on the far left, middle we have our common or ground, and on the right we have our voltage, resistance, diode, continuity, microamp, milliamp. Another interesting difference as well is the font on the 320, slightly bigger, although it is not illuminated with the backlight, but on the 325, just a little bit smaller. What do you prefer? Honestly, I do like the font of the 325, but they're both good. All right, let's do a couple of tests, shall we? 2000 count display. Here we have the 10 volt high precision input standard. And look at that, 10.03 coming up for the KLEIN. Perfectly acceptable. In the previous 320 review, I did not review the 9 volt or 1.5 volt battery test functionality. I didn't. Sorry. I got some slack for that. So I'm going to do it now. And you know what? It's a good thing. And I'll tell you why. I'll show you why. Here's the 9 volt battery. I used this battery last week. And look at that. We're going to test it. Coming in as 9.4 volts. Got it set to the 20 volt range. 9 volt battery, of course, right? 9.4 volts. It's a good battery. Well, I put it in something, device, and guess what? It didn't turn on. I thought, what is going on? Put it to 9 volt testing mode. The difference between this and a standard mode is this is actually putting a load on the battery. Yeah, with that load put on the 9 volt battery, it is useless. So that is the major difference between a 9 volt test and a standard voltage test. The 9 volt test will put a load on your batteries, which actually will tell you a real world condition. Is it any good? In this case, it's not. Great feature to have. We're in AC volts right now. Have this plugged into a standard power adapter and 119.8-ish volts coming up. This is not true RMS. Just remember that the KLEIN MM325 is non-true RMS. That is our high voltage indicator down here. That little lightning bolt. That just lets you know you're basically in the danger zone. Anything over 30 volts is considered high voltage. Next up, continuity. Stock default KLEIN test leads. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Fast. And all sufficient. Let's try the ProMasters. Yeah, even faster with the ProMasters. Excellent. It doesn't get any better than that. .9 decibels, maximum output in continuity. And that, my friends, is loud. I'm going to have a quick look-see at high current amps. And you can tell the input indicator is telling us to put that test lead into the 10 amp input. There you go, alrighty. And sitting in 5.0 amps, coming in as 5.06 for the KLEIN. Oh yeah, let's just bring it up a notch. To 6.3 amps, coming in at 6.4, 7.3 coming in at 7.5. Let's max it out now. 10 amps, and we get that nice high current alarm coming in as we exceed the 10 amp threshold. Excellente. Quick look at resistance now. This only has a 2 mega ohm threshold, so not very high. Sitting at 1 mega ohm right now. Let's try 1.1. Coming in as 1.097. Let's try 1.2 mega ohm. 1.5 mega ohm. Finally 1.9 mega ohm. Yeah, it's faster range. No worries there. And quick look at precision in the resistor sector. 100 ohm resistor. Yeah, look at that, 100 ohm. And a 1K resistor coming in at 0.994. Finally 100K coming in at 99.5. Quick look at diode tests now. Starting off with a standard red LED. There's the forward voltage drop. The green LED. It is lit, but we do not get a forward voltage drop. Over to the yellow. Yes, lit with a forward voltage drop. The white. That's actually the rainbow, and it's doing its thing. Over to the white. Nope. And the blue, negative. So 3 out of 5 in terms of illumination, and 2 out of 5 in terms of forward voltage drop indication. Not bad. Oh, almost forgot a standard diode. Hey, no problems there, of course. Output voltage in diode mode, 2.27 volts. So there you are in a nutshell. Pretty decent performance all the way around. Okay, let's take a look on the inside. Since KLEIN is giving you easy access to those fuses, they are making it so easy to take off the back. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips screws to get into the opening itself. But once you're in there, just give it a little heave-ho and away you go. Once again, nice big brass threaded insert for that battery housing. Good stuff, KLEIN. On the back, we don't have any shielding per se. We do have this interesting KLEIN cutout going on. They've been doing this with a few of their incarnations. I don't know why. I mean, it just kind of looks cheesy. It looks like it's been sort of a hack job with a razor cutter. I don't know why they can't just do better than that, but anyway, yeah, is what it is. Now on to the meter itself, and check out that, oh man, that overload protection. Oh, I've died and gone to heaven. KLEIN heaven. Starting at the very bottom, we've got those input jacks, and take a look at that. Whoa, holy moly cannoli. Those are thread and socket. Thread and socket, what does that mean anyway? Screwed in with a nice latching mechanism, and oh my god, those things aren't going anywhere. No cheesy soldering going on here. Oh, no way. These are in there for the long run. Excellent, excellent attention to detail, KLEIN. There's our current shunt as well, hiding underneath. Perhaps not a whole lot in terms of gap protection, spark protection, what have you, but you know, I mean, it's not that bad, really. Overall, I'm impressed. I pay $42 Canadian for this. That's about $34 US. So for that price, what I'm looking at right now is very hard to beat. Take a look at those fuses. High current 10 amp, ATSM ceramic fuse, and we have our 600 milliamp smaller style fuse over here, also an ATSM. And that big high current fuse is 31 millimeters in length, 31 millimeter by 5, so 5 by 31. Moving down the board, we've got some diode bridging going on here, but let us move back, take a breath, and check out those PTCs. 1, 2, 3 PTCs. Those are all on the voltage side of things. And right on top of them, look at that, 1, 2, 3 MOVs as well. So lots of input protection going on here for a $45 cheapo, 45 Canadian dollar. Man, oh man, I am loving it. Here's that weird mechanism for making contact with the batteries. So it goes through those cutouts in the housing, and those cutouts make contact with these. I still think this is a little ho-hum, but I guess your mileage may vary. Diode bridge going on here as well. There's our speaker. Main IC is cobbed, and here are some headers for factory calibration. But overall, I gotta say, very, very nice. Mostly SMD components. We do have a couple of surface mount, but generally speaking, very, very nice. MM325 version 6, according to the stamp on the PCB. Going in a bit further here, and look at that, there's the rotary selector tracks, crop circles, if you will. No dielectric, no grease on here whatsoever. They are greaseless. Very interesting. For the LED backlight, this is what you get, this long protrusion here. But that is an actual LED. If we just flip it around here to the old flipperoo, can you see that? Yeah, those are 2 LEDs. So that is for the backlight. I gotta say, I haven't seen that before, but a pretty elegant solution, I have to say. Wow, nice. And in typical KLEIN fashion, look at the quality here. Look at those fuse soldering assembly. I mean, that is just amazing. High attention to detail here. I'm sure those are done by hand. Just big, gorgeous blobs of solder for those fuse holders. Gotta love it. Other side of the meter, here is our selector switch. Now, this is the only downside for me with this meter, is this selector. It's just a little too, you know, funky cold Medina, so to speak. It doesn't have that really nice, reassuring, smooth, easygoing glide. So yeah, that is too bad. 5 pads on the selector, and over here are the plastic or rubber, I should say, one-touch buttons as well. This is the display backing for your display. Awesome. So in a nutshell, there you go. Look at those inputs once again. Oh my God, I love those inputs. Absolutely high quality. And look at the plastics as well. Definitely top notch. Now I decided to give this a little pop-a-roo, and look at that, lo and behold, it is ball and spring. I wasn't sure just because of the, crappy gliding of the Selector, but it is ball and spring. So yeah, go figure. Balls go inside of those. Maybe a little bit of grease would make that better. Maybe a little bit of grease. I don't know. I went ahead and I greased a little bit of the tracks with my dielectric over here, and I also put a little bit of that grease on top of those stainless steel balls, as well as the ridges of the Selector. So I don't know, maybe it'll make a difference, maybe not. It's worth a try. And just give you a little closer look at the LEDs, the way they're sitting on top of that white backing. So very, very interesting. Cool. Okay, gonna put it back together, come back with my closing thoughts. And just as a footnote, yeah, what a difference a little bit of dielectric can make. Oh yeah. Closing thoughts of the KLEIN Tools MM325. Oh, this is definitely a good upgrade. Now, if you're an existing 320 user, don't worry, you don't have to get one. You're not really going to be missing a whole. But if you're new to the 320 series and you head on the fence, definitely get the 325. Screen just a tiny bit better on the eyes, and you cannot beat that backlight. Also, those illuminated inputs, man, those are handy dandy, especially in low light conditions. Once I did a little fudging around, that Selector switch is 10 times better. Smooth as butter now, the way it should be. But KLEIN, the end user, really shouldn't have to play with a brand new multimeter. End of the day, you're getting your KLEIN quality in a package that is oh so affordable. As I mentioned previously, I spent around 45 bucks Canadian, around 35 or so US for a high quality, extremely well built multimeter that is definitely in the run with Fluke. No, it's not true RMS, and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of some multimeters out there today. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for a good test instrument that can do the basics and do the basics extremely well, the 325 has you covered. The KLEIN Tools MM325 gets a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, the price is definitely hard to beat for the KLEIN Tools quality you're getting with this one. Thanks for watching the review, everybody. Till the next one, keep on testing.